Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will try to give some advice to novice teachers and prospective teachers on how to interact with students and their parents. Be careful. I will not cover any teaching techniques or methods or principles. This is not scientific. It is just friendly advice to help you protect yourself and protect your students. Now, the first advice is definitely please become a teacher if you really want to. If you want to help young people reach their potential and believe in themselves. Being a teacher is not a job that you do because you couldn't find anything else to do. It requires a lot of effort, work, time, energy, and sometimes sacrifice. Now, let's begin. Always keep a decent distance or use proximity, which is about 1 arm length, when communicating with your students. Don't stand too close. If you cannot keep a 1 arm length distance, then maybe you can do it like half arm, but nothing closer than that. Okay? Avoid physical contact with your students as much as possible. You can see the stick figures here. Respecting someone's personal space is very important. Touching learners, including well-intentioned gestures such as putting a hand on a shoulder, may lead to serious questions being raised if these are repeated regularly or occur as prolonged actions. You can see in the figure how the student feels uncomfortable because the teacher stands too close. You should stick to non-intrusive touch, such as congratulating a student by shaking hands, bumping fists, or giving a high five, or a pat on the back, kept short, or a pat on the head. When necessary, when you feel that the student needs this kind of interaction. Young learners, unfortunately, love physical contact, such as hugging, cuddling, kissing, etc. Now, try to discourage them, but do that tactfully, so as not to embarrass or offend the children, because they are little children. They don't know the social boundaries. They don't have any idea about proximity, okay? If you find yourself in such a situation, if you fail to avoid it, keep it very short. Okay, let's assume that a student hugged you. You hug the student back very shortly and then let go. And try to distance yourself as soon as possible without hurting the child. If you're a prospective teacher doing your practicum, never leave your practicum partner alone. Don't be alone with a student. While talking, you can find a private corner in the teacher's lounge with some other teachers or your practicum partner present. Don't accept secret notes from your students. Someone may try to give you a little folded piece of paper. Don't take it. Don't. Just say, is there a problem? Is there a question? Do you have a problem? with the situation? Do you want to ask something? Say it openly. Say it publicly. Your students may come up to you and say, could you please translate this for me? Don't. Don't translate every sentence or word that a student asks you to do. First, have a look at the sentence or the phrase or the clause. If it's written on a note, without taking it. If you feel that there is inappropriate content, in a very calm and assertive voice, tell the student that the message is not appropriate for them and you can't translate it. Now I know students are curious about their teachers and they want to learn, get some personal information from you, but please don't give too much personal information. Know where to stop, okay? Avoid communicating or corresponding with students about intimate topics or intimate personal feelings. Don't forget that you're not an expert in psychological counseling. If they have any problem, they can always visit their school counselor and share their problems with them. You should be very careful because you're dealing with young people. Young people are bold, they're daring, they are inexperienced. They may not be aware of the consequences of their behavior, so they may do something that is irresponsible. You need to be careful in this situation. A student may start feeling attracted to you in an undesirable way. As a teacher, always keep in mind that you must take the necessary precautions to protect yourself and the student. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you can't deal with the situation by yourself. You can get help from veteran teachers or the psychological counselor at school. Students must understand that such behavior is not only illegal, but also unethical. Another issue that I want to touch upon is loss of control. It is very dangerous. As humans, sometimes because we feel stressed, because we feel very angry, we may lose our control. However, when you're a teacher, you need to learn ways of managing your anger and stress effectively and use these ways whenever you find yourself in that situation. I usually prefer putting a smile on my face and wait for a while, taking deep breaths. You can find your own way of dealing with such a hard situation. Any form of physical punishment of students is unlawful and inhumane. Okay? The other behaviors that you should definitely avoid are yelling. Oh no, please don't start yelling. Don't humiliate or make fun of your students. These are young people. You may cause some serious trauma in their life, and you don't want to do that. Do not get too friendly with your students. They don't need friends. They don't need to become friends with you. They just need to know that you can show empathy, you can understand their behavior and actions and feelings, But you don't need to be friends with them. You just need to be their teacher. And please don't be too tough and authoritative. Okay? Sometimes such teachers look really funny. They don't even look scary. They look funny, right? There's no need to show that kind of negativity. Imagine, let's create a situation here. Imagine that you're teaching adjectives. I personally do not use my own students in the classroom. Even with very safe adjectives such as tall, you may hurt someone's feelings when you say, Ahmet is tall, Mehmet is short, or Ahmet is taller than Mehmet. You think that you're just making sample sentences, but this may hurt someone's feelings. And there are very dangerous adjectives such as beautiful, ugly, fat. Please don't use students in your class. You can always bring visuals, right? Another point is you should be careful with sensitive topics. A topic may make some of your students uncomfortable. This doesn't mean that you should avoid a topic that is in the curriculum just because you're scared that it's going to make someone uncomfortable. Just deal with that topic in a way that is inclusive and objective. Okay? If you have a work phone number or work email, use those to communicate with your students and their parents. Announce when they can contact you, and do not take calls or reply to messages after a certain hour, unless it's an emergency. Do not give your personal phone number or email address. At the end of the day, you don't want inconsiderate people to invade your personal and social life. Yes, you're a teacher, but you have a life to live, right? Well, it is a good idea to form groups on social media platforms for communication so that you can make announcements and answer questions publicly on those platforms and everyone can see. There is plenty of evidence that suggests positive communications between parents and teachers lead to positive impact on the academic performance of a child. Good parent-teacher communication should be ongoing and have clear lines of communication from the very start. At the start of the school year, you should explain how and when you will keep in touch with parents, all while letting parents know their questions and concerns will be valued. But in return, they need to trust you and your intentions. Because we know that parents think that they are the experts when it comes to their child's education. Ensure them that you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. They don't need to interfere. You need their cooperation and collaboration. This doesn't mean that they can take your role over. When necessary, have short meetings to explain them the scientific basis, well, in simple terms, of course, in a way that even a layman can understand, of your teaching methods. Use a positive but assertive tone, which will show that you're an expert in this field. You are the teacher. Okay? Of course, parents are important to help the child get better education. They are available to help you improve your teaching, but you cannot let them take over. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comments section. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Wish you all the best. Stay safe. Bye.